To resume recording right now, and I will let Tim introduce himself.
Hey guys, my name is Tim Bowling. This is the digital marketing journey with simple strategies for business growth. Want to thank the Kirkwood Public Library for putting this on and really appreciate you for letting me come talk today. Okay. Something.
It might have been me when I put it on Zoom.
What do I do here?
Let me see.
Perfect. Okay, so who am I? My name is Tim Bowling. I'm the marketing coordinator of the 8-figure company in local St. Louis. We specialize in e-commerce and distribution of anesthesia supplies for hospitals. I have 7 years of marketing experience in this role. My background is in education. I was a former high school science teacher. I have a knack for analytics and data. So there's really two parts of marketing. There's the writing side and the analytics side. I can do both, but I really like the analytics side. Digital marketing is like the scientific method. You come up with an idea, you run the marketing, you do the test, you evaluate the results, and you repeat. That's pretty much it. It's this reiterate until you find out what works. Okay, so audience background. What industries are here? Who has paid for marketing services in the past? Yeah.
Accounting firm.
Accounting firm. Have you paid for marketing services?
No, we paid for like running ads,
Okay.
but we paid for it to manage it ourselves.
All right. And how do you feel like you're doing marketing? Give a scale 1 to
We
10.
haven't done 6.
6. Solid
Yeah,
6.
6 is we're on.
So you're doing okay, but you could do better.
Oh yeah.
Perfect. Digital marketing. What it is and what it's not. It is not just a website. It is leveraging the website for your digital presence. It's creating the brand awareness to get your name out there into the digital world. So if you have a brick and mortar, if you have a storefront, that's almost like your website. Your digital marketing is akin to regular marketing, your signage, your flyers, print ad. They kind of go hand in hand. They're in parity with each other. But if you have a website and you're not doing anything with that website, that's not digital marketing. You just own a website. No one knows your business like you do. If you hire an ad agency, their recommendations are not requirements. What converts a client from a quote to a sale is different for your industry. It's different for your product or your service. So just because the ad agency says do it this way doesn't mean you have to follow them blindly. Go with your gut. You own the business. Do what you need to do to get those customers convert. And you don't have to be the expert at digital marketing. Okay, that's what the agency's for. But you're there as the business owner to audit that agency to make sure that you're getting the results that you need to move forward in the digital world. Okay, the digital marketing funnel. We have very unique names for this. It's called top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Okay, the top of funnel is your navigational and informational type queries. Query is what you type into Google. It's a search term. Where to, best of, best in, how can I? This is what pulls up your information onto Google. That's typically a website or SEO. Those are the two parts that kind of get the top of funnel. So if you're looking for a product or service and someone types in best Italian restaurant in St. Louis, they're just looking for recommendations. They're looking for general aspects of what that best restaurant is. Middle of funnel is informational or commercial. So it gives a little bit more information for your product or your service, and they have a little bit more intent to buy. So this could be some paid ads or some email marketing. Could be guides, could be videos, could be anything that gets them a little bit closer to purchasing. Lastly, bottom of funnel. This is high customer intent. This is someone going to a landing page and filling out a form. This is someone clicking a buy here or buy now button and getting to a product. These are customers that are really looking to buy. So these queries have the word price or near me, that people are really looking to go or to purchase a product or a service. Okay, this whole talk is going to be about a road trip. Okay. The two that you're probably already doing is referral business and partnerships. This is word of mouth. They're not bad strategies. They're not digital strategies, but they're extremely slow strategies. Referral business is a person buys from you and you're reliant on them to spread your product or service to someone else. It's almost like walking. You need to get from here to Kansas City and you're going to walk it. It's going to take a very long time. Partnerships. This could be if you're a plumber and you're partnered with a realtor. That realtor will go to the person selling the house and say, oh, you need a plumber to fix your plumbing issues so we can sell the house. That's a partnership. They're on the same path you are, but you're working with somebody. So it's like hitchhiking. If they're going south and you need to go west, you get somewhere faster, but you might not get to where you need to go. So we're going to start with the website. This is where your digital marketing journey begins. You have a plan. If you have a digital marketing plan, you're going to start with your domain name. You're going to start with the www dot, and you're going to go from there. This is your car. It's your vehicle for success. SEO, search engine optimization. This is your roadmap. This tells you the behavior of the people that come to your website, what they're doing, what's converting, what's not. It's the direction that you need to take to move your business forward digitally. Social media. This is fuel. This gives you additional speed or additional leverage to move your business forward. So if you're posting on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, it helps increase your brand awareness, spread through those platforms so people will realize that you exist and will purchase from you. Paid ads. This is an express lane. When it comes to Google, there's 10 blue links that are shown. On top of those blue links are typically 1 or 2 blue links. Those are paid ads. They get you to the top of Google, but it's going to cost you money. Each time someone clicks, it's going to be $3 to $10. And when someone clicks that link, you're going to want them to purchase. That's high customer intent. We'll talk about paid ads here in a little bit. It'll get you to where you need to go, but it's going to be expensive. Email and SMS marketing. These are checkpoints that if you send an email, if you send a text out to your database, to your customers, you can gauge reactions from them based upon the data that you collect. Did people click? Did people not click? How many unsubscribes? How many people ignored it? Lastly, we have our roadblocks and detours. This is your Google update. This is content update. This is your website breaking or SEO that needs to be revised. That they're just obstacles you have to overcome in your business. Road trips take time. You can't teleport. You can't get from here to Kansas City automatically. Just like when you build out your website, you do SEO, you run the paid ads, it's going to take time for you to get to where you're going. Don't rush it. Don't speed. Your car. This is your website. This is your vehicle to where you want to go. It is the home base for everything you do digitally. There's multiple platforms out there, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace. For whatever reason, Google likes WordPress. It is the gold standard as a platform. Multi-page works best for SEO. That doesn't mean you go out and you spend money and get 1,000 pages written by AI to build out your web page. But if you have one web page that has all of your products or service listed, all your contacts or contact information, in the About Us, all on one page, it's gonna confuse Google. You need to separate those pages out. You gotta have your homepage, your services, your products, pricing, contact us, about us. That's 6 pages right there. That gives Google enough to figure out what you are, what you're about, and to identify those searches to pull the right pages. Your contact information, hours, email, location, phone number. People need to contact you. And if it's not easily found, they'll have no idea how to contact you. And what they'll do is they'll leave your website. Make a lead form. Have some sort of lead form on your website. Make it easy to fill out. Have the pertinent and required information that you need. You need their name, you need their email, you need their phone number. If you have multiple products or services, create a drop-down menu. If you're an electrician, have them figure out if it's like a breaker, or if it's lighting, or if it's fans. That way, when you get the lead form, you know who to send it to. You can send it to your head guy for that product or service. And lastly, a location is usually helpful. You don't want someone from Columbia, Missouri finding you and you can't access them because they're too far away. Common mistakes. No clear call to action. Okay. Call to action is anything that you get a customer or anything that a customer will do that you want them to. Buy here, email us for a quote. Those are call to actions. If your contact info is buried or missing, if they can't contact you, they don't know how to, they'll just leave your website and go somewhere else. Load speed. If your page has lots of graphics, GIFs, videos that all have to load at the same time, Google will deprioritize that. Also, if your page takes too long to load, you leave the website. I think we've all experienced that with our phones. We go, website won't load, we go back, refresh, leave, go find another website. Like I said, a bigger website's not a better website. Skip that one. Website business goals. Increase brand awareness. You own digital real estate when you create a website. That space is yours. You can use that to have an additional stream of income. If you're a business owner and you're going to sell the business, your website is worth something. Depending on the size of your business, it may or may not be worth a lot, but it's worth something. Likewise, if you wanted to create an apparel, shirts, hats, some sort of swag, you can put that on your website and have an additional stream of income. Go to Top Golf. They have the base, they have the food, they have the drinks. What else do they have? They have a pro shop. You can go get a Top Golf towel, hat, koozie, driver cover. That's an additional stream of income. You can do the same for your website. SEO. Search engine optimization. This is your roadmap. This is how your website ranks on Google. Google optimizes for mobile. So if you have a responsive website and it can optimize, it can switch the screen size from mobile to desktop to big screen, Google likes that. That's part of SEO. We'll get into that here in a second. Types of SEO. These are 4 of the main types of SEO. On-page, off-page, technical, and local. We're going to focus on page today. Blog posts, web pages, call to actions, content, anything that is on the page that a person can click, view, see, or interact with is on-page SEO. Off-page SEO is taking traffic from other sources to drive to your website. These are called backlinks. They're linked back to you. So if you have manufacturers, you want a reciprocal relationship with them. So they link to you, you link to them. Likewise, press releases, publications, working with chambers of commerce, being on their website. It's local business listings, referrals, social media sharing. That if you have a link on your website and it's shared to social media, that will help with the off-page SEO. Technical SEO. Mobile friendly, page load speed, user experience. 3 things that we've just talked about. Sitemap. This is a listing of all your pages on the back end of your website. So it's not readily available to most users. Google has bots that crawls the sitemap. So when someone puts in a search into Google, that sitemap is crawled, indexed, database. Google will pull that URL up to the front, and that's how you rank on Google. They're important to have. If you don't have a sitemap, you need to figure out how to get one through Google Search Console. Again, if you have broken links, redirections, poor images, if you have pictures that look like potatoes, it's not going to do well with Google. Google will deprioritize those rankings. And again, have that responsive design. Yeah.
Is there a specific piece of the on-page SEO that's a little bit more like sought after from Google than others? So like blog posts specifically?
Not really. It's all about the keyword. So it's all about the content that's on the page. There's a thing called EEAT. It's experience, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. There's another one I forget off the top of my head, but using that and building trust, using writing human to human, that's what's gonna get you to rank for Google.
Okay.
Lastly, local SEO. Google My Business Profile, Yelp reviews, having your name, address, phone number available. That's what's gonna put you in what's called the local SEO pack. So when you Google, there's usually a map and there's 3 to 5 blue links or businesses with red dots on the map. That's local SEO. That's optimizing for that. This is Google's just GPS. It tells Google where to go and what to do when someone searches. So just like your GPS in your car, when you have a destination, it automatically knows where to go from where you are. Same thing with Google. When you put in a search query, SEO guides Google to your page, to the correct page that match that query based on those keywords that you have. Okay, so let's dive into what SEO is just a little bit here. You need a H1 tag or a headline 1. This is like the chapter of a book. It's what tells the Google bots about the web page. Here we have St. Louis Auto Glass Repair Service. That is their H1 tag. That if you typed in Auto Glass Repair Service St. Louis, this page is optimized for that headline tag. And there's content on here that also give it credence. But if this H1 tag said dog grooming and it was about auto glass repair, it would confuse Google. It has to be relevant to the page. Keep URLs short. So here we have our domain and we have URL. We service the St. Louis area. That's a little long. The we and the are superfluous. They're extra. You don't need them. You can shorten that to St. Louis service for whatever product it is. That's what's going to tell Google what this page is about. Not about Kansas City, Missouri, not about Austin, Texas, but about St. Louis. So when someone types in St. Louis service for plumbing, electrical, books, doesn't matter. But what this does is it tells Google what this page is about. Sometimes this H1 tag would end up being that, they call it a slug, that tail end of that URL. And if this is convoluted or extra, you have a lot of words in there in this H1 tag, and it becomes this URL, it can confuse Google. So you need to keep it concise. You need to keep it succinct. Okay. I think we've all Googled ourselves at least once or twice just to see what's out there. But you need to Google your business. This blue link is called the page title. This description down here is called the meta description. If you see an ellipses at the end of your page title or metadata, meta description, it's too long. 60 characters for the page title, 160 characters for the meta description. When someone searches on Google, they will look at these and they will read them, even if subconsciously. So if it's too long, it'll get shortened, it'll get truncated, and you lose out on being effective. So make sure your meta description and page title are clear enough that you don't need extra characters along the back end that get cut off. Okay, SEO case study. This is a graph from SEO work that I did at my company. In October of last year, we brought our SEO in-house straight to my desk. So from mid-October to the end of the year, I redid all of our 600 pages on our website. So this starts in January. We can see that we have an upward trend of impressions. An impression is just how many times does one of these things here show up, the blue link with the meta description. And we can see that the work I've done has increased our impressions. So when you optimize for SEO, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for an upward trend of your impressions. SEO common mistakes. Missing or incomplete data. That's where you get those ellipses. Keyword stuffing. If you have a page that says St. Louis Plumbing, St. Louis Plumbing, St. Louis Plumbing, St. Louis Plumbing, written 500 times, Google will not rank that. They'll put it down on page 1000. That's keyword stuffing. Unnatural content. This is text that is invisible to humans. So if you have a web page and you put St. Louis Plumbing, St. Louis Plumbing, St. Louis Plumbing in white or transparent, Google will know that it's there. It's on the data of the web page. These are what's called black hat practices. Okay, black hat, gray hat, white hat. Black hat are no-nos, gray hats are, well, you could, there's not enough data to figure that out. White hat are best practices. If your local SEO is unoptimized. So if you are a brick and mortar and you don't have local SEO, that could hurt you in the rankings, and you at least won't show up if someone puts in around me, near me, or the city that you live in. Wait for Google to take effect. Too many changes at one time could be considered black hat. SEO takes time. Google crawls your web page about once every 14 days. So if you make a change to your web page, it's going to take about 14 days for Google to index that. There's ways you can do instant indexing through Google Search Console, but if you don't have Google Search Console, it'll take about 14 days. And it could take over 6 months for results to really appear. If we look here, our business is Monday through Friday. Every single one of these dips is a Saturday and a Sunday. So over time, we don't see quick results. We have to wait. So right now I'm in the process of reviewing everything that I've done last fall and see what's landing and what's not landing, what's not working. This is 5 months of waiting. If I had gone through and saw that we had dipped on Saturday and Sunday and started making changes, that's too many changes. I have to wait. I have to see what's going on. Business goals. Technically, it's free advertising. When you rank organically on page 1, you show up and it's what people see. Not many people skip to page 2 or page 3. So when you're using SEO and you're trying to rank higher on Google, organically, they will show you over your competitors or other services. SEO can help with AI visibility. Okay. SEO and AI are kind of going hand in hand, but what you do for SEO can help with AI. So SEO is here to stay. AI is changing the landscape. Come back on July 31st. I'll talk more about SEO, AI, how they're different, how they're alike, and then how to use AI to get the most out of your SEO. Sean, do you run paid ads
No, not currently.
You don't run paid ads? Okay. Let's get that one.
Fast, okay.
Oh, you can ask the chat, I forgot about the chat, see if anyone runs paid ads.
We found out that that's a really quick way to run up your marketing budget.
Yep,
And it works out, right, if you get somebody, but yeah, I think, for us, marketing has been pretty social media posting. But now we're in the works of trying to get it to be more of a formal marketing department.
that's fair. Okay, so if you decide to run paid ads, think of this as the express lane. It accelerates brand awareness. They're also called pay per click. Because when someone clicks on that blue link, like this blue link down here, someone clicks on that, it's gonna cost you money. And it can cost anywhere between $5 and $25 for someone just to click. But you show up first on Google, you create that brand awareness, you create that top of mind, an impression, how many times you show up, click, how many people clicked. You can, if you ever see a sponsored or a little blue box that says ad, those are paid ads. They have to be denoted that they're an ad through federal law. Click-through rate. A 3% click-through rate is actually pretty good. It's not terrible, could be better, but it's actually pretty good. And that's 3 clicks over 100 impressions. You need to have good ads, good links to good pages, right? If you click this link and it says $75 off, and it really shows up to be $50, people are gonna leave, right? That has to be consistent from your ad to your landing page. Common mistakes. A homepage is not a landing page. A homepage is a homepage. Use your products or services as your landing pages. Not using negative keywords. So back to the dog grooming example. If you're a dog groomer, but you don't do dog training and you're running ads, you want to use dog training as negative keywords. That way, when someone types something in anything about dogs, you're not going to show up for anything related to dog training. Not testing headlines and ad copy. We call this A/B testing. You have them side by side. You run them and you see which one does the best. Then you take that one and you run that one against a different ad. And you keep doing this iteration. You keep changing this, that scientific method, that experiment. Google has ways to automate this for you, but an A/B test is just which one do you like better? Pick it, and then you make another slight change, and you keep rolling it over. Again, increase brand awareness, get intrigued customers to come to your website, get to the top of page 1, separate yourself from your competitors. So if your competitors are running ads, you can also run ads, but you want to keep things just a slightly different. You want to separate yourself from them. And if they're not running ads, good for you, because now you're showing up in the first 2 spots on Google. If you want to know more about SEO and paid ads, June 5th. I'll be here. I hope you're back. Don't feel like hurt. Social media. This is your fuel. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine. I think we've all just gone straight to Google or straight to YouTube, skipped Google, went straight to YouTube and searched on YouTube for a how-to, a DIY. I looked up a thing about paid ads. The guy had a how-to on paid ads, and at the end of that was a plug for his business. You can leverage YouTube as both a DIY and brand awareness. It doesn't just have to be, let me show you how to do it so you can do it yourself. Reddit is the 2nd largest social network. I think that's correct. But it's a vast platform, just absolutely massive. Now they're a publicly traded company. You can run ads on Reddit. You can also use Reddit for expertise. You can have set up a business account and go to subreddits that are part of sewers, electrical. house cleaning, accounting, and you can give tips, tricks, and insight to increase that brand awareness. Provide value. If you're gonna post anything on social media, make it valuable. Give your hints, give your tricks, give things that people need, that they want about your product or service. Be the go-to expert. So if you're a car mechanic, show some videos about cars, changing tires, oil, what to look for when your check engine light comes on. Those types of things. People will then come to you and say, hey, I don't know how to fix this, fix my car, because I've seen you do it on my model or this make. Common mistakes, poor content, sales only. So if you're only pushing your product or service and it's buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, you're doing a disservice for yourself and your brand. Text only, incorporate video, incorporate images, use a meme or two, do something slightly different. Ignoring comments. So this is a post from Silver Dollar City. Says 1 hour to eat this for 100K. Who you calling for help? Dave Smith says a loan officer. 100K seems to be a little steep for mediocre barbecue. Silver Dollar City, it's behind the screen there, says this post is about you getting the money, not paying for the food, Dave. This is high class snark. This is they're the ranked the first best theme park in the country for the third year straight. Their marketing team is amazing. You don't have to get to this level, but what they're doing is they're responding to messages. They're responding to comments. Same thing here with Wendy's. Why is your beef square? Because we don't cut corners. Again, another big brand that has a great marketing team, but they're responding to messages. So if you're posting things on social media, don't ignore them. Use it to follow up, even if it's, I appreciate you, thank you. Or if someone asks a question, give them an answer. You don't have to be snarky, but then again, these two companies are big names. Last thing about Silver Dollar City. Again, third straight best theme park in the United States. Each one of these boxes are on Sunday. All these are other picture posts that have been posted. Each Sunday is a Bible verse. It's part of their brand. It's part of their identity. So when you post content that is true to you or your business. Don't try and be someone you're not. And don't try and post every day like Silver Dollar City does. You'll get worn out. It's a lot of work. But then again, they're the best. Become an industry expert. Be the go-to. Be the person that says, oh, I saw this on Facebook. I saw this on Instagram. Go to this guy. Go to this gal. Dano Seasoning. I think we all seen his videos. He's there and give it a little pop. He started going to flea markets and farmer markets, selling a seasoning. COVID hits, everything shuts down. So what does he do? Translates the video, starts making barbecue videos. Guess what? Now he's in every superstore.
Mhm.
You can find him everywhere. His whole company is just ballooned. You reach more customers other than just Google or search. Okay, email, SMS, these are your checkpoints. Retargeting campaigns, someone comes to your website, you can check them. Get people to come back, abandoned cart emails. So that's what we do is someone comes to our website, they add a product into their cart, they leave, 24 hours later, they get another email, hey, we think you forgot something. You get people to come back to your website and increase the chance of buying. Nurture content, we send out email blasts. We give information out to people about products and services that we offer. We keep this alive, we keep this brand awareness going. That whenever someone needs something, oh, I saw an email on that, I saw a text message about that. They come back to us because they know us.
For like nurture content, so you guys obviously provide products, but you know, in your research and the content you've worked with, have you seen a good response? Do you guys do case studies at all?
We do some case studies.
And what is the response level to that?
About the same. The thing about our case studies is they're a lot harder to come by because everything has to be peer reviewed, journals, everything else. For something like you would post, you would send things about best practices for accounting or CPA. So you would send weekly emails of top 5, top 10, #1 things people don't do, those type of emails. And when you send those out to your clients, or if you have a lead form that people can subscribe to our newsletter.
Yeah,
You can leverage those types of nurture content to keep people coming back and say, hey, I saw your post, or I saw your email. How do I do that? Right? Like if they're not doing it and they come back, hey, how do I do that? That's how you keep customers.
yeah. And now, does all that content have to be proprietary to your business, or can you find an article somewhere as long as you source it properly?
Yeah, you can use anything. So, like what's a best practice in accounting, right? Like making sure your books are closed each month. Right?
True.
That's something that you can leverage that's evergreen as part of nurture content.
Got it.
Meet them where they are. They have to check their email, they have to check text messages. You get them exactly where they are when they need to see you. And plus you get an idea for what people click on. You can use your call to actions on emails, see what converts, see what doesn't convert, find the things that do convert, put that on your website. Because now you're testing more readily. That A/B test that I talked about, you keep testing, and then you put it on your website because you know it works. Common mistakes, check your cadence. If you send emails every day, people are going to get burnt out, you're going to get unsubscribes. It's going to hurt your open rate. Or too infrequent. If you send one every quarter, one a year, right? People are not going to know about you. So you got to find that thing that works. Is it every Monday? Is it every Tuesday? Is it twice a month, 1st and the 15th? Just, you got to play with it, see where your open rates are. Sort your list by buyer type. So at work, we have anesthesia, we have OR, we have emergency department, NICU, ICU, materials. Not all of our products go to all of our customer base. We have to segment them. So sometimes things might go to anesthesia and materials, but not to emergency room. It might go to the surgery centers, but it might not go to ICU. Separate, use a CRM, client relationship manager. That helps keep things together, coordinated, business cohesive. Not checking metrics, check your open rates, click-through rates, your unsubscribes. If you don't know what's working or what's not working, you don't know what to do next. No call to action. If you send an email and there's not a way for someone else to reach it back out, like in your example, you do the top 10 things, email us with questions, or email us with this, or email us for an audit, right? Those are call to actions. Anything like that is a call to action. It doesn't have to be buy. It can be audits. It can be demos. Keeps in touch with customers. You get repeat customers. There's a thing called lifetime value. It's a metric that tells you how much people buy from you on an annual or lifetime basis. You increase that. Brand awareness, increase top of mind, and you can give out coupons. You can give out promos. Lastly, Google update. Roadblocks, detours. Core algorithm updates can cause slowdowns. About once a quarter, Google pushes updates. They push things out to the entire universe, and it can cause issues on your website. They can deprioritize certain keywords or services if there's too much clutter. You can't stop it. When Google does these updates, they just happen. You just have to deal with them, fix it, move on. If your website, you add pages to your website, you create redirects, create additional links, you made to redo some SEO data. If there's new technology that comes out, you might need to update those pages with that new technology. If you do redirects, your paid ads links can break. Get that 404 error, page not found. Key takeaways. You don't have to be an expert at digital marketing. You just have to know about it. You have to identify what's working or not. It will take time. Don't rush it. Get good at one channel, then expand. I like to think that is go deep, figure out one aspect, and then go wide. That's the end. So you can connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, June 5th, July 31st. Scan the QR code if you want to site audit. And lastly, questions.
Feel free to unmute yourself and just ask your question if you have questions.
Did you take any like specific courses or anything? What, you just all self-taught, like reading through books? That's awesome.
Books, search engine journal, SEJ.
Some good recommendations for books. Two, just give me two.
I'll get back to you on that one.
You gave me some before, but I forgot about it.
You just, go get SEO for Dummies.
Yeah, I always stay away from those, man.
Why?
I feel like they're too cliche. And that's
Okay.
my problem.
But they're the basics for the reason.
That's true. Y'all got it here in the library?
Probably.
You can't take it out.
Let me know, let me see.
You have to live in Kirkland.
No, we got a membership here.
Oh,
Yeah,
in
this,
Kirkland?
no, but this is where we do all of our library
Oh,
escapades at.
escapades.
Yeah. We just, Danielle and the kids just got 10 books from here the other day. So I might not be able to get another book, but.
Oh. Yeah, check out other accounting firms on.
Oh, I do that all the time, man. So one thing you talked about was like those forms, those lead forms. But then what about like, form fatigue, if that's a thing? So-
Yeah, so that's why you gotta keep it very specific, right? So if you have too many lead forms on all over your site, people will probably just ignore them.
Mhm.
But if you have a specific lead form on a specific service, so you probably have corporate, personal, right? Those would be two separate lead forms, one for the corporate side, one for the personal side.
Mhm.
Then you could have a drop-down menu for specific actions on the personal and the corporate. So the corporate would be large firm, medium firm, small firm type companies. Personal could be independent, will, trust, right? So now you segment, so you have the lead form, you
Mhm.
separate them out, and then you tree them out with the drop-down menu. And then now you technically have 10 lead forms, but it's really two.
Makes sense. So we have just a general lead form. And it used to be like 12 things on there. We narrowed it down after doing some research about like what other firms are doing, knocked it down to like 5.
Yep.
Name, email.
That's it.
And basically like, well, why are you reaching out to us?
Yep.
But then immediately after they get that, they get a qualification form. The qualification form is more of a, do we feel this person is qualified for a conversation?
Is that automated or?
Automated right away, like, I think they get it within 30 seconds
So-
of submitting it.
And what's your response on that?
I think with the new form, we probably, I'd have to look, I haven't like
That's fine.
calculated it.
If-
It's fairly decent.
If you find that it's decaying, it's getting less over time, like if you can analyze it month by month and you see that it's getting less and less,
Mhm.
I'd probably switch that to having someone send it to them. So as the account manager,
Mhm.
like, hey, we got your lead form, thank you, or even someone in like customer
So it's
service.
more personable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hey, we got your email, thank you so much for inquiring about us. Before we begin to work with you, we just have some more information we need to get with you to figure out if you're gonna be a good fit for us. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Something along that line, and then now they have a point of contact, right? So when you send the automated form, they just filled out a form. Why do I gotta fill out another
Yeah,
form? But
sure.
now they have someone to talk to and you can turn that into a meeting. You can turn that into, hey, we need to do a qualification process.
Mhm.
This is what we need from you. Here's a time or schedule a time to come in and meet with us. And they bring in their pay stubs, bank statements, whatever, but then you fill the form out in person.
Mhm. Yeah, so we did that because we found it was better conversationally to get some of that information up front, and that qualification form really asked about like, hey, what service are you, what's bringing you in, right? If it's just tax prep, or is it just payroll, or is it bookkeeping? And then there's like, a revenue range, right? What's your revenue range? How much are you currently investing in an accounting relationship? How much are you, who's the decision maker? Basically, it's following the BANT process, right? To kind of qualify those needs before we even get on a phone call, so we have some of that information.
Yeah, you would have to check metrics
Mhm.
on that and see what the response actually is and if it's getting better or worse. But
Yeah.
if it's getting worse, then probably automated form on automated form is too much for people to fill out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if I had to just take a guess off the top of my head, I'd say it's probably around 40 to 50%.
That's decent.
Yeah.
But if you had someone send them an email, you think you can get that up to 70 or 80%?
Well, probably. I think we've only done this, it's not even been a full month.
Okay, then yeah,
So-
I would wait at least 3.
Yeah, I like to do at least 3 months with changes.
And then you could A/B test with someone and with not someone. So you, for every 10 that are automated, make sure they do 10 in person
Mhm.
and do that for 3 months and see if your results are equal or greater on the one side.
I like that idea.
And then if they're greater with the in-person, then stick with the in-person.
I have a question.
Go for it now.
Okay, so couple things that you talked about. So you
Sure.
talked about the links being moved on, which
Yes.
I'm like, oh, we use WordPress and
Yep.
we have an events calendar.
Yep.
It automatically generates a link based on what the title of the program is. So in like this case, it was like 27 words long
Yep.
or whatever. So is it better to go back and change those? Or is changing all of those events now gonna be fall into the category of like too many changes at once?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
moving forward, keep that in mind?
Yeah, I would say moving forward, keep it in mind. Now, if you had Kirkwood Public Library Children's Room bookshelf store front thing, that's actually a static page on your website, that's
Okay.
not an event, then
Yeah,
yeah, I would take that and just call that the children's room or the children's
Okay.
library. But if it's just an event, you probably don't even need to change it,
okay,
honestly, because once it's here, it's gone.
fair.
So you're really not trying to rank consistently for children's library.
Okay,
So you could try to see if you, by changing it and shortening it and making it better, ranks you a little bit better on Google, but the people that are searching for that are probably just gonna go to the Kirkwood Public Library and
site,
go from there. You're really not gonna try and pull organically
okay,
unless it's you're hosting like a big event, like a barbecue or huge book fair, in which case you might create a static page for that's recurring.
so we do have, so then I guess this is my question, so we have a big event every year, it's called One Author, One Kirkwood, and we bring a big name author, but the author changes every year, so should we change? So right now it's like the webpage is just one author.
Yeah, so I would keep that webpage and then I would link out of that webpage for each of the years. So on your webpage, you would have 2020, 2021, 2022, 3, 4, 5, and then the 2025 would be linked.
So what we have done is overwrite that page every year.
I
So
would,
when it's a new author, we just.
yeah, I would
change out all
I would
that
make a
info.
new page
Okay,
for each annual author. So your one author page would just be 100% consistent.
Mhm.
You would change a little bit, 2025 author and the information and then change that link. But then also have your other links there from the past events moving forward, because now you're building that web page out like horizontally.
Okay,
And people can go back to see who was here in 2020, 2021, 2022.
and we have that all on that same page, so like, at the
Okay.
bottom, we just have a list of like who was the past authors, but we don't have.
Yeah, but then, yeah, and then, but then all that historical data is gone.
Cause we override it,
Right.
yeah.
So there should be a little section that does change for the upcoming one, but that's just on that page. You would create a new page specific to that author or that event for all the years.
Okay,
And then when someone searches that author, that page still exists and they don't just disappear into the ether.
Mhm.
Any last questions?
Is that your owl?
It's her owl.
It's my.
It's not mine. I don't have an owl. I don't have any pets.